Hello again mga ka-Nanay. It's me again, Nanay Jane. And if you are wondering how to get reservations or book lessons here at Native Camp, this video is for you. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some tips on how I got my reserved classes or my booked lessons. But let me tell you first, here at Native Camp, sudden is life. So I think that's one good thing about this company. If you don't have reservations, you can always go on standby and conduct sudden lessons and you can still earn money. But let's face it, 80 pesos compared to 57.20 pesos still matters, right? So I think we all want to have reservations. Now, if you are a newbie and you have 50 or more reservations, congratulations. But let me tell you as early as now, so that you won't be disappointed, you might be overwhelmed with the number of book lessons that you have right now, but they'll be soon gone. Yes, because again, sudden is life here at Native Camp. However, your book classes will come again, hopefully after doing these tips that I will give you now, okay? That's exactly what happened to me. I was so happy during my first month because I had a lot of reservations and I conducted only a few sudden lessons. So I was able to rank up from B2 to B3 on my second week. However, I stayed at B3 until my sixth week. And I thought then that it's impossible to achieve those higher ranks and that reservations are really just for those with free flags. I remember in one of my previous vlogs, I said there, when I was explaining the ranking, I said there that I think it's impossible to achieve B8. But you know what? I'm telling you right now, it's actually possible. So I thought then that reservations are really just for for those with free flags, for office-based teachers, and for those who have Kalan badges. I try to do these things because I really want bookings rather than sudden lessons for mainly for two reasons. First, of course, because imagine if you will be B8 rank, so how much will you have for your rate every class? And also, for second reason, this is just based on my observation. Students in the book classes are nicer and kinder than those taking sudden lessons. So I really wanted to have book lessons. Yeah, so these are the things that I did, okay? Here are my tips. But first, if you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and click the bell button to get notified if I have new uploads about native camp, ESL teaching, English lessons, and parenting tips as well. Okay, so let's begin with my first tip. Number one, edit your profile. So always check your profile in the teacher's waiting page and look at it as if it's your IG or your FB account. So impress the students with your self-intro video, your self-introduction in written form, the pictures in your gallery, and those words in hobbies and interests. And you know what I still do until now? I always try to edit my profile even if it's just an additional word to my self-introduction or to my hobbies and interests. Because everything in our profile can be seen by students and the only way to convince them to take classes with you is through our profile. So we need to make it the best profile as possible. Okay? So um, take advantage that we can always edit our profile in the account tab in the portal. So if you have time, just look at your profile and see, is this okay with me? Will this make students take classes with me? So if not, then always find time to improve your profile. Tip number two, take care of your rating. So I think it is the most important part of our profile. And the students are actually paying. So they will get or they will choose the best teacher. And how will they know if this is the best teacher or one of the best teachers here at Native Camp? Let's face it, they base that through our rating. So they also base that through our reviews. So it is really important to maintain a good rating. Now, to tell you the truth, it is one of the reasons why I am not conducting sudden lessons, because I actually conduct a maximum of 4 hours to 5 hours a day. And I think you will all agree that most students who give low ratings are in sudden lessons. So I'm really scared of receiving 3 stars, and worst if I receive 1 or 2 stars. Now, fortunately, the lowest I had was 4. And now, what if you've done everything and you've really done your best in every lesson, but still the student gave you a low rating? Well, let's accept the fact also that we cannot please everybody. And when you received a low rating, that's the time that you have to conduct more sudden lessons. So I will make a different vlog on that. Okay. So another way of taking care of your rating in the profile is this. I will share with you, just like in the previous cutoff. So now today is April 30. It's actually the end of the cutoff. So in the previous cutoff, my rank was B5. And then fortunately, I was able to meet the requirement for B6 on the first week of this cutoff. So I was able to conduct or to have 20 book lessons already. And the requirement for B6 is 20. So I was so happy that yes, finally tomorrow, another cutoff, I will be B6. Okay. Now, strategy. This was my strategy. And I think I will do this for the next cutoff to come. um, I didn't conduct sudden lessons because I was afraid of getting 1 or 2 star rating. And again, like what I said, most students in sudden lessons are giving that kind of rating. So to avoid that, I just focused on my book lessons for the whole cutoff, and I was able to maintain my rank. So yeah, tomorrow I will be on B6. So it's up to you if you want to conduct sudden lessons. But for me, whenever I have book lessons, which is enough already for me to rank up, I'm fine with that. So I don't conduct sudden lessons anymore. So yeah, imagine for this cutoff, I have 55 book lessons all in all, and 55 reservations compared to 55 sudden lessons. I will leave the computation to you. So I'm sure you will also love it, right? So yeah, I'm so happy that tomorrow I will be B6, and hopefully I will be able to achieve the highest rank, which is B8. Okay, I'm two slots away from being on that rank. Okay, so I know this will happen to you as well. So yeah, and now for my third tip, open as many slots as you can and try different schedules. Now, if you can open a maximum of 24 slots a day, better. So that's what I have been doing. I usually open my slots from 11:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. So 24 slots are available, and I only teach whenever I have the book class. So like what I said, I am not conducting sudden lessons anymore. Hopefully, it will still be like that for the next cutoff, because that means I will have more reservations. Yeah, so, and while it is best to have a consistent schedule, it is also okay to try a different schedule. Like for example, I remember there was a time when I was really hoping for reservations, and what I did was I tried to open my schedule from 12 midnight to 2 a.m. because for the goal of maybe, or with a thought in mind that maybe someone will book my class during this time. And fortunately, yes, I got some reservations during that time. And yeah, so you can also try that. You can always experiment, you can always explore and try different schedules which you think um, possible to be booked by student. Now, if you have tried having book lessons for that specific time, that's the time that you have to be consistent. Like for instance, I had a book lesson, like what I said, at actually 1:30 to 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. So what I did was I opened my slot from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. that whole week. Because if you want this particular student to take your classes again, then you have to open your slots in advance. And that's another tip. You can open, or I mean, you have to open your slots in advance. And what I've been doing lately, I open my slots for the whole cutoff. Yes, and actually today is like what today is April 30, and my schedule for the next cutoff from May 1 to 15 is already open, and I have advanced reservations already. So you can also try that. As long as you know that you will be available on on those times or on those days, then try it, or try to open it, and maybe um, students will book your slots, or those slots. Now, tip number 4, impress the student. I think this is always important. And I have always this goal in mind every time I meet the student for the first time. I want this student to book my class again, or I want this student to be my regular student. And so I need to impress him so that he will book my class again. So far, it's actually effective. And I already have, I think, 6 regular students. And I am very grateful that they are choosing me to be part of their learning journey. And another way to impress the students is with the messages that we are sending to them after every lesson. Honestly, during my first month, what I did was just put NA on the page, on pronunciation. I just put NA in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and other fields. And then I just write, or I just put my default message for every student, like for example, it's a pleasure to meet you, Jane. You did a very good job in this lesson. Just continue on practicing, and see you next time. It's always like that. But I realized that since students can really read our messages, we need to make them matter as well. So since then, I really spend time on making feedback. And as much as possible, I put some words in the vocabulary, in pronunciation, in the new phrases that we've learned from the day. And for even just one grammar mistake that I corrected during the lesson. And then I make my messages more personal. And then I always put quotations at the end of my message. So try to search for learning quotations, or learn difficulty in learning quotations, or um, practice quotations. So far, it's effective. So I will give you an example of one of the messages that I sent to one of my students. So in this one category, or the topic was topic talk, friendship and romance. And then in the page, I just put NA. For vocabulary, I put their platonic relationship, and which is part of the lesson as well. So copy paste. And then for pronunciation, quit and unrequited, because we practiced this several times. And then for the grammar mistake, or for the grammar, during the lesson, she said, my sister make excuses for lost key. Then I put my correction. It must be, my sister makes excuses for losing her key. And then For the comment, this is what I said. Thank you so much for another enjoyable class with you. I really like your positive vibes because the student was really very optimistic. Continue your goal in learning and you will surely succeed. Then she mentioned about Netflix. So I said, watching Netflix is also a good way to improve your vocabulary and sentence structure. So I think you should continue doing it. See you again. Thank you so much. Okay. So I think it's impressive on the part of the student that your message is really personal and that you were really very attentive during the lesson. So yeah, you can also, I know you can do better messages than me, so just do it. But then again, we cannot please everybody. So students have their own preference, and all you need to do is just keep doing your best and improve yourself, and know that there are a lot of students who haven't noticed your profile yet and will soon notice you. So just wait and just keep on teaching. And here is my daughter, Mab. She really wants to join us. Okay, hello. And my last tip, and the funniest, I guess, is it's a secret. Okay, my fifth tip is stalk top teachers. Yes. It's an advantage actually that we have access to all NC teachers' profile. So what I usually do is whenever I have time, I look at the ranking page in the dashboard and then I check the top 20 teachers and I search for their profile in the teacher's waiting page. And I analyze their profile. So whenever I look at their profile, I'm asking myself, what is this with this teacher that makes her so popular and students book her classes and can get a lot of reservations? So I especially stalk teachers without Kalan badges, just like me, because I tell myself, if this teacher can do it, why can't I? So I know I can do it as well. So I watch their self-introduction videos. Most of those top teachers have really great self-introduction video. So I made another one and it's still under approval of the admin. Hopefully it will be approved soon. And then some have a quotation at the beginning of their written self-introduction. So I put one also. I search in the internet for the perfect quotation that I want to put there. And yeah, and I also noticed that they have advanced slots. So I opened my slots in advance as well. You might think that it's copying, but yes, at some point. But you know, you are not copying the exact content, right? You are just actually copying the idea. I remember during my interview with Sir Frank, he was humble enough to say that during his first year, I guess, or first few months in native camp, um, his self-introduction was parts or bits of self-introduction of those top teachers because he was also stalking them. So it's all right because you are just copying the idea and not the content. Okay? As long as you have your own quotations, you have your own hobbies and interests, you have your own technique in the self-introduction video, believe me, they are really effective. And so that is why go and see my profile. I may not be among those top teachers. I am not an elite teacher and I am not yet fully booked. And I still consider myself as a newbie because I'll be again like what I said, I'll be like what I said in my previous videos, I will be just turning 3 months here at Native Camp. So I'm one of you. I am also a newbie here, and I still have days with one or two bookings, sometimes none at all. But I'm happy with my booking rate, and the number of reservations I have is actually enough for me to go to the next rank. So that's already something to be grateful for. And hopefully, I can also be at rank B8 very, very soon. Okay? So, yeah, I guess that's it. Again, we are together in this journey. So don't think that Nanay Jean is really popular. I'm not actually. I still, like what I said, I still have days with no bookings at all, and I experienced a whole cut off without reservations. But I am happy that now they are actually coming. The reservations are coming back. So I know this will happen to you as well. And again, you just have to be patient, and you just have to stay motivated. Okay? Now, if you are an elite teacher and if you have a lot of reservations already, please comment down below additional techniques on how we can get more reservations. And if you have other questions regarding Native Camp, please feel free to send me a private message in my Facebook page, Nanayhood, or in my personal Facebook account, Maaj Jean Landicho Pohanes, and I'll be very willing to help you and to answer your questions. Okay, so I guess that's it. And happy teaching, more reservations to come, more students to come. Okay? Bye-bye. Thank you.